right here while you break until you're okay. I'll be right here. It's okay if we're not okay. When we're not okay, I'll be right here. I'll stay right here while we break until we're okay. I'll be right here. If we fall apart,
what's up, y'all?
fall apart. Right
Chantal!
Right here with me, love. Right
Chantal, do you want to sing something for me?
right here in these arms.
Don't play either.
These arms. Right here with
You might as well open us up with a good song.
right here in these arms. Right here in these arms. And just breathe.
How y'all feeling?
Just breathe. And just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. We're unsure of what's to come as the days turn to one. With more
The song that's playing in the back is called Just Breathe. My bad. Alright, you cooking next week. Be ready, Chantal. What's up, sister? Alright, you can get your life today. So, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Safe Space. The first 5 to 10 minutes, we just let people log on, get comfortable, grab a pillow, grab a pen or a pencil, a marker, crayon, some paper, whatever you have to write with. And if you don't want to write with a pen or a paper, you can write on your phone. But I find it a little more therapeutic to use, my hands and a pen or a pencil. So hopefully y'all had a good week. And if you didn't have a good week, that's okay too. Today is not really a time to be critical of the week that you had, to sit in a space of judgment about the week you had. It's just to simply be aware of the week that you had, not only the week that you've had, but the day that you've had, and knowing that, maybe that day impacted your mood, it impacted your emotions, it impacted your family, it impacted your thoughts. What we want to do during this time is simply create space to let those emotions exist, to let those feelings exist, and to notice them. And so that's what we do by way of meditation, by way of sharing, by way of conversation, by way of crafts, art. This space is simply a prompt from a friend to say, consider what you're feeling, consider what's happening in your body, consider your thoughts, consider the things that triggered you today, consider the people that triggered you, right? Consider all of that. This is simply a time to breathe. And so if you do nothing else in this time but sit and watch, that's perfectly fine. If you do want to participate, and I invite you to participate in this time. We'll be doing writing prompts and just small things to help you think, and not think too critically, but just to think. And if thinking feels too hard, that's perfectly fine. You can just chill, eat some chips, and drink whatever you're drinking, wine, water, juice, whatever, eat whatever you're eating. So what's up to everybody? The first thing we want to do is start with just a time of meditation and breathing. We do this every week, and for me, meditation has been a very helpful practice, literally and physically to my body. I'm a person who has dealt with panic attacks and still deal with them very often, and extreme anxiety, and so I had to find healthy ways to cope And a lot of times when you're in public, right, you obviously can't roll out a mat and just sit in the middle of the mall and try to meditate. But breathing apart from a mat, apart from you sitting with your legs crossed, actually helps slow down the nervous system, pumps blood, and helps your body relax, literally. So what I want to do is just start off right now with a time of breathing and meditation. So if you can, find a comfortable seat, and I will play some meditation music. And if you have a meditation playlist, by all means, you can play that. If not, you can go to my Just Breathe Spotify playlist. It's called Just Breathe, and it has a long list of meditation music there. But we'll start this meditation simply by being aware. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being present. Thank you for existing. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for trying when you didn't have to try. Thank you for giving yourself the opportunity to be present. Thank you for giving yourself the attention that you deserve and that you need. And if you can't find a seat, place your feet flat on the ground. You can wiggle your toes a little bit. Feel that your body is alive and present and active. Feel the blood going through your veins. Wiggle your fingers. Allow your feet to be planted below you. Feel the foundation, the ground there. The ground is not trying to be a ground. It's just there. It's there holding you. And so find rest in the fact that you are being held right now. That you don't have to hold yourself, but you are being held by your chair or by the ground beneath you. And whether you ask it to or not, it's doing what it's created to do. It's holding you. And so I invite you into the peace that comes with that truth, that you are being held without asking, without trying. You are being held. And so if you can just sit with your back straight up and allow your shoulders to drop. And let's start by taking a deep breath in and releasing. And there's no special way that you have to breathe. It's helpful to breathe in through the nose and release through the mouth. Let's take another deep breath in, this time gently closing your eyes if you feel comfortable. And releasing through the mouth. Just allow yourself to breathe normally. The breath will create the cadence for you. So at any point, if your mind wanders or your thoughts seem to take over, just allow them to. That's what happens in life. Sometimes things that you don't expect take over. You can notice them, acknowledge them, but you don't have to focus on them. You can simply focus back on the breath. Allow the breath to be your rhythm. Take another deep breath in, making sure your jaw is dropped along with your shoulders. We carry tension in our shoulders and in our jaw. Allow your body to simply relax. And right now, don't try to figure anything out. Give yourself permission to just be. Give yourself permission to just sit. Mentally, you can say, I give myself permission to breathe. We know that even in times like these, breathing is a privilege. It feels like it is. And we want to take advantage of the breath that we still have. And so we honor the lives that have been lost by simply breathing. Breathing to honor our existence. Breathing as a part of the resistance. Breathing as a part of recharging. Take another deep breath in. This time hold it for 4 seconds. And release it with a sigh. This time I want you to imagine yourself breathing in peace. Take a deep breath in. And hold that peace for 3 seconds. And exhale anxiety. I want you to think about love. I want you to breathe in love. And hold that love for 2 seconds. And exhale anxiety and fear. This time I want you to breathe in joy and hold it for 4 seconds. And exhale sadness, acknowledging that it's present but not being controlled by it. And as you continue breathing, notice where in your body there may be pain, where there may be anxiety, where there may be tightness. And on this next breath, I want you to breathe into that place. Let's take another deep breath in. And release. I don't know if you've had a chance to give yourself permission today to be a human, to be weak, to be fragile, to be vulnerable. But this is a safe space now to do so. And so for the next 3 minutes, we will simply breathe and sit in silence. I know the silence sometimes can be triggering, can be very hard. We feel fidgety. We feel like we need to get up. Our minds wander, but that's okay. Allow your minds to wander. This is just a practice of stillness. And so for the next 3 minutes, as you continue breathing, just sit in silence with yourself, with your emotions, and honor all the things that you feel without succumbing to the need to change them. This is not about change. It's not about judgment or critique. It's about giving yourself permission to be who you are right now. So let's sit in stillness in this moment. Make sure you're breathing in the stillness. Make sure you're inhaling and exhaling in the stillness. And be mindful that right now you are not alone, even in the silence. And as you can, begin to gently wiggle your toes. And move your feet. Begin to wiggle your fingers. And open your eyes when you can. Thank you for breathing with me. Thank you for breathing for yourself. And yeah, thank you for joining us here at Safe Space. Yeah, if I'm honest, today was a day that I felt a bit unprepared, and I think that is a testament to life sometimes, that we just do not feel prepared for the things that we have committed to, or the things that we have to do, or prepare for the things that we know actually benefit us. And so even now, the idea of, man, I didn't really have time to prepare, to take time out of my day to breathe. It just, when I think about it, it doesn't make sense. It's like, there's always time to breathe. And if there's not time, we have to make time. Because if we're going to continue in the purpose, in the journey, in the calling, in the vocation that is yours, you have to be present to do that. And so many of us are used to presenting ourselves at 50%, getting by with 50% of ourselves. And we're just accustomed to getting by. And people are accustomed to only having 50% of us. And we are accustomed to only giving ourselves 50% of ourselves. And so my challenge to myself today, and even to you who are here with me, is, make time to give yourself 100%. Because if you don't give yourself 100%, nobody else can fully benefit from the person that you are, and from what you have to offer. And so rest is vital, especially in times like these where we are protesting, when we are fighting, and this is a long game. Your rest is vital. You being able to eat, right? Drinking water, staying hydrated. Having a community is important, a community of friends. And so one of the first things I want to do, we always start with prompts. And so today I'm going to switch it up a little bit. The prompt that I want to start with is it's basically called Safe Teams. And so what I realized is, like, when we talk about safe spaces, sometimes we only think about our location, our home, where we dwell. But I realized that sometimes the safe spaces aren't necessarily where you live or the environment you're in, but it's the people that you're around. And so what I want to do is talk about how do we build safe spaces by building a safe team. And for some of us, we may not have had the families that we want to have, or the friends that we want to have, or the co-workers that we want to have, but we do have the choice to decide who our safe team will be. And so let's say you're in a household and it doesn't feel the safest. I'm sorry that is your experience, and I understand what that feels like. But I want to invite you to give yourself permission to create a safe team, where it may not be your blood, it may not be your coworkers, it may not be, people that you're used to being around. But today, this first prompt is simply to think through and redefine who your safe team is. That safe team consists of 6 people. So if you have a pen, a pencil, or your phone, during this time, I want us to just simply think through and create a safe team. When our environments are not what we want them to be, man, we can access people. And so if you are a person that maybe struggles with trust, or, you're a person who maybe doesn't have a safe team, I would just encourage you to add this to your list of intentions for the week. Even if it's not going out and finding friends, right? We're still in a pandemic. Hopefully everybody's still practicing social distancing and being considerate of others and people who are still fighting. But let's start by simply thinking through the group of people that we naturally communicate with. And so I want to start. The first person that I want us to recruit to our team is, think of a person. This does not have to be a parent. This does not have to be any particular person. This is a person that best fits this role in your life and is safe, meaning they allow you to exist as you are without critique and judgment, right? The first thing I want to talk about is the guide. Let's think about the person who is a guide. What is the guide? A person who is a visionary, a person who helps you navigate your vision, your life purpose, a person who is mature, who has wisdom and experience, and somebody that you trust, right? Somebody that you have looked at their life and said, man, I would love for you to guide my life because I watched how you guide your own life. I would not suggest that your guide be somebody who you don't respect, or who you're not, not impressed, but, respect their lifestyle or the decisions that they make. And so the first thing that I want you to think of is the guide, and write down a name. If you have more than one name, beautiful. If you don't, that's okay. If you don't have a guide, then I would say this week, let's start setting our intentions on really looking at our surroundings and our network and saying, man, who is somebody that I could be mentored by? Another word for mentor, for God is a mentor. Who is somebody who can help me make life decisions, that has experienced life? For me, a lot of times this person is older and sometimes this person is younger. And in various areas of my life, for example, my manager is my guide in my career. She's much younger than me, but she is more experienced in a lot of ways. And so for my career, she is my guide. And in other ways, older women guide me, older men guide me. It just depends on the situation. So the first thing is a guide. If you have a name for the guide, great. If you have a name and they are not active in your life in that way, I want you to send an email or a text to them and simply say, man, I would love to talk to you about playing a role in my life. And you can call them, text them and say, hey, Julie, that was a really white name. No shade to anybody white on here, but hey, Trina, I just felt like that was better. Hey, Trina, I would love for you to be a guide in my life. And send an email. And if you like me, I hate doing stuff like this. I hate walking in the rooms and saying anything to anybody. So a quick email, and I started by saying, this is awkward, but I just needed to ask you this. I need help and I need a guide. Bye. Whatever you do that. Secondly, the stretcher. The stretcher is a person, they have to be a person that you respect, because if not, you won't actually allow them to stretch you. What is a stretcher? It's very basic. A person that stretches your perspective, stretches your worldview, stretches your work ethic, right? Stretches the way you see yourself, right? Helps you widen your thoughts about yourself and about the world. They are a person who holds you accountable. They are a person who challenges you. The person, when you think you're right, the person who can walk in and say, actually, you hella wrong. That's not right. The stretcher also needs to be a person whose relationship is not in jeopardy because y'all disagree. Right? So the stretcher is a person who you are in a relationship with, and that your relationship is not in jeopardy because they challenge you or because y'all disagree. So if there's anybody that you want to be your stretcher and they trying to tell you something and you disagree and you pushing back and they pushing back on you, and then y'all ain't talking for 4 days because they done tried to tell you something about yourself and you didn't want to listen and y'all got into this whole thing, that's not your stretcher. That's not the person that you want to be the stretcher. The person that is a stretcher has to be somebody that you respect and somebody that you invite in to say, man, I want you to see me for who I am. I want you to know me. I want you to challenge me and push me towards my best self. I want you to say the hard things that I don't want to hear. And it's very self-explanatory. Same thing, if you do not have a stretcher, if it's somebody who always kind of sliding you advice and you don't really like it and you don't even acknowledge it, but you low-key take it and you do it, drop your ego and go ask them to be your stretcher. Ask them to be your accountability, and your challenger. The next one, comforter or encourager. This person is simply there to comfort you in the way that you need, meaning this is somebody who you are emotionally comfortable with and vulnerable enough to say, man, when I'm going through these types of things, man, what would really be helpful for me is a hug. What would really be helpful for me is a text. What would really be helpful for me is if you just came and sat with me and we were able to talk. Can we get coffee? Somebody who comforts you in life and is able to encourage you in the way that you need. Not the person that just want to comfort you and encourage you in a way that they want to. Because there's a lot of people who want to show up and actually don't want to be mindful of what you need. And so the comforter and the encourager is somebody who has a level of emotional awareness and a level of emotional intelligence, right? They honor boundaries. So your comforter and encourager can't be somebody who, doesn't respect your boundaries, right? And they don't respect their own boundaries. And if you don't have that, maybe you have a friend that's super loving and you need them to step up in that role. You can ask them and invite them, hey, could you really spend the next 3 to 4 weeks just helping to comfort me and encourage me? Y'all, this is very hard to do though. I'm sitting here saying it's like it's easy. It requires a level of vulnerability, because sometimes me as a black woman, like I carry the strong black woman identity, right? I was raised like that. Like my daddy's like, you strong, you black. You suck it up. Shit happen to everybody, all right? You don't need to be crying. This world is tough. suck it up. And it's like the idea of being strong often works against us. Even asking for help often works against us setting boundaries, because we feel like strength is our identity. And we don't allow ourselves to be weak. We don't allow ourselves to have needs. We don't allow ourselves to be comforted, right? To say, hey, right now I cannot do, I just need to be. And I just need somebody to hold me, right? To encourage me. And so that's the comforter. Invite those people into your life. The next one is an advocate. An advocate is the person that is always fighting for your best interest. And for me, that person is my therapist. She is not my friend. She is not my parent. She is simply my therapist. She is thinking through, how can I fight for your best interest at all times? My dad would probably explain the advocate as maybe his AA sponsor back in the day. Like a person that is always there to push you towards your best interest, your best self. And somebody who's there to fight for you, not fight with you while you go and do some raggedy trash things, but somebody who is fighting for the best interest of you, your growth, right? Your maturity. And so that's the advocate. For me, that's my therapist. And whether or not you are, an advocate for therapy or not, man, this is a space where I'm simply inviting you to consider that. Because it's been very helpful for me. For a long time, I was not a fan of therapy, and I felt like it's dumb, and I'm not about to pay somebody to talk to me when I can talk to my friends. But it has been probably the most life-changing experience of my last 5 years. And so, yeah, that's a side note. The next one is a friend. You just need a friend. And what that is for you is for you. For me, a friend is a person that's coming over to my house, sitting on my couch, and they not saying nothing. We just sitting and watching TV and looking at each other and cracking up. And we probably eating sunflower seeds. And we may talk, but we may not talk. A friend to me is also a person who I can talk to on the phone, or, somebody who can just be present for me. And so whatever type of friend that you need, a friend is a person that is there to enjoy life and to endure life with you. To enjoy and to endure. A person that helps you enjoy, a person that helps you endure. And then the last one is an ally. I'm not sure if I spelled that right. I feel very insecure about the spelling of that. It's a Y, but it is right. I don't know if I can spell well. But an ally does not have to be a friend. It is somebody who simply supports the same causes and convictions that you support, right? If you are a person that's like, man, I have a burden for injustice, find a group or another person who has that same burden. Y'all don't have to be buddies. Y'all don't even have to talk on the phone. Y'all are simply uniting towards the same cause, whether that's in business, in art, in faith, in relationship, whatever. It's like, man, an ally is a person that is simply coming alongside of you and saying, yo, we want to fight for the same things. We want to support the same causes. And I don't have to call you on Saturday to go to the movies, and we don't have to have dinner. We simply here to fight for the same causes. And so those are the 6 teammates that I want us this week to set our intentions on pursuing. Because we may have a list of friends who kind of work through this list, but we have not identified them and said, and even acknowledged them. Like, and if there are people in your life who exist in these roles, and they already know that they exist in these roles, instead of setting your intentions, take this week to just thank them for the roles that they have played in your life in these ways. Like, love on them, write them a card, shoot them a text, because they are a part of your safe team. And the safe team is what we use to navigate our safe space, right? The safe team, when the world is crazy and it's chaos, man, the safe team is what we use to keep things going. The people that we use to simply support us. And so I actually want to hear from y'all. And I would love to hear, like, man, what does it look like for you to, what has been your experience with finding people in your life to really support you? And I'm not talking just business, like, what does it look like during these times? And yeah, if anybody, I want to buzz you in. So right now you can request to go live with me. Because I would love to just know, man, what is your safe team looking like, and what type of problems or maybe discouragement that you have finding friends. One, making adult friends is so annoying anyway. It's like, adult friends is a very hard thing to do, especially while everybody is grown. They got kids, partners, spouses, jobs, dysfunction, all of that. Trying to simply find a safe team is very hard. So, yeah, I would love to hear from somebody. Somebody just asked, can the stretcher and God be the same person? Yes. If all these people are in one person, I mean, it's great. They might be tired. If I had to be all those things for somebody, I don't know if I would enjoy that space very much. And it doesn't look like anybody's requesting to talk, and so that's perfectly fine too. I feel like y'all might just be tired, cause I'm tired. And that's fine as well. I will give it another second. The question is, I want y'all to add me to your live to talk about, man, what does your support team look like? And if nobody got no support teams on this whole safe space, then I'm glad we just did that prompt, because people need support. I feel like I got a lot of support. And so I also feel like if I start naming names about my support teams, I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah. All right. So next thing on our list, not even on the list, I wanted to just, for me, this is a space of art and a space of conversation and a space of prompts and a space of a lot of stuff. And so I wanted to share with y'all, if y'all didn't know, 2 weeks ago, Just Breathe came out. And it's been doing well. Sierra, you should request to join my live. And so we can talk about how hard it is to find. Like, just come and request so we can talk. I would love to see you, unless you feel like your hair is not done, and then I get it. Because, first of all, let me pause and talk about something real quick. I did my hair this morning. I just need to say this and clap for myself. Because I twisted my own hair this morning. And I just want to say, I'm about to start having a braiding shop. Okay? So whoever trying to get twisted up, I did this morning. It took me about 3-4 hours. I just wanted to pause and pat myself on the back. But I wanted to show y'all some behind the scenes footage of Just Breathe with me and Vendel, if that's all right. And yeah, this is Safe Space Music.
When you're not okay, I'll be right here. And I'll stay right here while you pray until you're okay. I'll be right here. You can follow by.
This is like me in the studio, and I feel like I always want to bring people into the behind the scenes of stuff, just so y'all can know what the vibe is like. It's a little crusty. The vocals are not really cleaned up. I'm gonna keep sharing it, but hold on, we got a request, guys, because this is me singing. I can come up. More media just requested, and we are connecting with them right now.
Hello. How are you doing?
Hello. Give me 1 second. Let me cut this off so I can make sure. There we go. What's up? What's your name?
Jordana.
Jordana. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm doing pretty good.
Thank you for requesting. You know, people don't want to request because it's Sunday. Folks tired. Ain't nobody got time to be getting
Folks probably nervous.
Or they nervous. But listen, you here. How has it been for you? Just tell me a little bit about how has it been for you. Like, do you have a safe team? And if so, how did you go about it? And if not, like, what are some of the things that have been hard about you trying to find a safe team?
So the safe team I have, I'm from Missouri, but I'm in South Carolina. And the team that I have is like, it was really organic. And I remember watching like the Legacy crew and how through their like little YouTube videos, they would be together and they would have community. And just in the Black church, I was like, man, I don't have that. And so I started praying. I'm like, Lord, I really, really want that. I want that type of community with people. And so I just started like attending random people's Bible studies until eventually I fell in with this college ministry. And that's how that kind of formed. So, but I thought that was really strategic, what you laid out. and
Yeah,
very
and
intentional.
I think one thing that you said was like, man, y'all had shared interests, which was faith for you, and for other
Hmm.
people that may be sports or your
Right.
beliefs on other things, and you took the initiative to join that space with them in order to meet people.
Right. Yes.
Are you an extrovert?
I am not at all.
You're an
So like I get
introvert.
adopted. I'm an introvert. Right.
Okay, so
So I
that's
just sit
nice. I
there real
love when
quiet in the
people
corner
like,
until.
yeah. So as an introvert, you took the step, which was a courageous step, I'm sure, to put
Hmm.
yourself in that space to go and meet people. So organically, did you just kind of identify like, oh, this is the person that's going to kind of guide me. This is the person that I'm cool with receiving advice from. Did it just kind
Really,
of
it was
naturally
just
happen?
like my section leader from the band. I played sax, so she was like, yeah, a little bit of everything. But
All
she
right,
was
all right,
like,
all right.
she had moved to that church. She used to go to the church I was at. I was at an AME church. And so I just started
Nice.
hanging around them and, speaking to her. And I'm just over in the corner and everybody's like, hi. And so, it eventually developed from there. But what I was going to
Nice.
say is since I've moved, it's been extremely difficult to establish those relationships with people in the church now. And I
Yes.
know that, you're not just talking about the church specifically, but where I'm at, it's
Yeah, no,
just been
I get it. Everybody's in their own community, and so
hard.
for me, my background is in the church like that. So a lot of my community has been there, but I've really realized, I've really also noticed that my stretchers actually did not come from the same. They did not share the same faith, and I've grown more
Mhm.
in a lot of ways from people who do not share my same beliefs because I've allowed them to see me, and I also identify blind spots that I didn't realize. And so, all in all, best wishes to you while you in Missouri. I hope you find a safe team. Set your intentions this week. Do what you can. Thank you for just clicking on and talking because
For
there wasn't
sure.
nobody else clicking on. It was that awkward moment of silence. So I appreciate you just for that.
For sure. All
All
right.
right. You have a good one.
You too.
All right. All right. So, guys, I really just want to see how y'all doing and how y'all feeling today. Can somebody give me your highlights and lowlights of the day? And you can request if you want to. I feel like today is not a request day. I feel like niggas is. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say niggas on this. I don't really know what. I don't know how people feel about nigga, and it's a sensitive time. And I say the word all the time, but sometimes I'm trying not to. But also don't want to be offensive. But then it's my life. But then I want this to be a safe space. But then it's my safe space. And so, just if I say nigga, sometimes it's just actually what happens. And if not, that's what happens too. Easy laughing. Can I? There's something else that I want to do. If y'all still got y'all paper and pen, this is our second prompt, and we are probably gonna close out with this. Um, this may not. You may not be able to do this within the next 10 to 15 minutes. Somebody said, "Where's Julie?" Julie ain't here. Trina here. Only Trina. Um, this is a healing contract. And so I know that sounds crazy, like what is a wait, sorry guys. I just totally did something wrong that I'm not sure what I did. And I got this whole afro on the screen. What I want us to do is this thing called healing contract, right? And so basically I'm not really sure how to swap my things, but what it is a contract with yourself to be intentional about one area of your life that needs your attention, your care, your commitment, your support, and ultimately a space in your life that needs to be healed. And so sometimes when we say healed, it sounds very grand, but it's simply what's an area in your life that needs more intentional care and focus. And so the first thing that I want us to do is start with figuring out what that area is. Like what is that area for you? If you have your paper, you simply write down what that area is. And it could be something as simple as, man, my skin needs more care, right? I haven't been drinking water, so my body needs more attention and more care. It could be my friendships are really suffering during the pandemic, and so my friendships really need a space of healing, a space of restoration. It could be anything. So write down what that is. The second step is I want us to think through a time commitment. What does that look like? A start date and an end date. How much time are you willing to invest in supporting yourself in this way? Whether it's, man, I'm going to commit the next 2 months to drinking water every day. I'm going to commit the next 2 weeks to drinking water. If you like me, I'm going to commit the next 2 hours and try to get a bottle down. And that's as much as I can give myself. So a start date and an end date. So the first thing you're writing is what needs attention, what needs care, healing. The second thing is how much time can I carve out and commit to focus on that one thing. How much time? You must have a start date, whether that's Monday, tomorrow, and an end date. Start and end date. The third thing, which is why your safe team is important. Who is the one person that will keep you accountable to this contract that you are making with yourself? Who is one person that'll keep you accountable to make sure you drink your 1 bottle of water a day, or that you call that friend who, you haven't called because they ain't called you, and whatever the case is, or you haven't sent the email, or you haven't ran, or you haven't finished the book, or you haven't cleaned your sock drawer out and put the matches together, or whatever it is. Who's the one person to keep you accountable? All right, this part will take some time. Name 3 actions that you can do, right? 3 things that you can contribute. 3 actions that you can contribute. This cannot be contingent upon anybody else's actions, attitude, or involvement. 3 things that you can do, 3 action items that you can do towards reaching the goal that you have set towards healing. So if I'm saying, man, my goal is to treat my body better, then 3 things that I can do is, man, I could set my alarm at night and have a time where I wind down. It's, man, I can drink water, right? It can also be, man, I can do 10 push-ups. I don't know, very simple things, but all 3 of those things are things that I can personally control, things that I can personally do that are not contingent upon anybody else. A lot of times our goals require other people's participation, but within this contract and this commitment of healing, it's what can you do? What are 3 things that you can do towards reaching this healing goal? And if it's, man, I need to just set time apart to ask myself how I feel every day, that could be helpful as well. And then 2 more prompts. The next thing is, what are 3 benefits from you actually accomplishing this goal? A lot of times we have a goal set, we have the strategy there. We don't have that expected end, that thing to look forward to, that vision that keeps us like, yes. And a lot of us put, body goals or mental goals or work goals. But it's like, what are 3 ways that you can benefit from your own healing, whatever that is? What are 3 ways that your life benefits, your family benefits, what are those 3 things? So think through that, man. How do I benefit from doing my own work, from keeping this commitment? In what ways do I benefit? And this may take some time. And so if you don't, get through all 3 within this live, it's fine. You can do it on your own time. And then you can share it with a friend and y'all can do it together or whatever. What are 3 ways that you benefit from keeping your commitment to yourself? And then lastly, what is one thing that has discouraged you up until this point from taking this step? So I think we have to identify, and what is the thing that has stood in the way this entire time, so that we can see it, notice it, and acknowledge it, and make sure we're making active steps to not allow that to hinder us moving forward. And so for me, it's procrastination. A lot of times is the thing that actually hinders me from keeping my commitment to myself. I procrastinate, and then I don't have enough time to do the things that I need to do that actually would encourage me or actually would help me towards my healing. I just procrastinate, then I rush, and when I rush I don't have time, and so I don't do it. And so what is that thing for you? What is the thing that has discouraged you, or the obstacle that stands in front of you that has really prevented you from taking the next step in your commitment to caring for yourself more intentionally, loving yourself more intentionally, ultimately healing, and being your whole self, being a fuller you? And take your time to really think through, what is that thing? Is it a person? Is it something within you? Is it an outside obstacle, or is it internal? I gotta scratch my nose. It's really itchy in my sinuses. Sorry. It's a safe space, my nose is itchy. And so as you've done that, yeah, just make sure that this week you set two intentions. One, find a safe team, and two, commit to yourself. Commit to yourself. The safe team, you got to run it back because I can't remember all the things right at this moment. But safe team, and then also committing to yourself. Those are two things that I just want us to be intentional about. And then next week, y'all need to get y'all's paint and pen. We are having a paint and sip next Sunday right here. It's gonna be crazy. And if you don't drink alcohol, that's fine, because I'll probably be drinking some wine or maybe some juice or whatever. But next week, paint and sip. Listen, paints do not have to be expensive. Dollar Tree. Use your kids' paint. And if you literally just do not have paint, that's fine. You can make dye, but that's too much. Just get some paint. Just go to the Dollar Tree, get some paint. Paint and sip, 614. Grab some paper, grab some friends, and I'm gonna talk to Peasy and the team and see if we can do the paint and sip on Zoom. We'll also host it live on IG, but I really need to see what y'all got going on y'all's canvases, on y'all's paper. If you don't got no canvases, you can color with crayons. Peasy said you can color with crayons, markers, sketch and sip, sketch and eat, chips. I really want some chips. The sketch, Dollar Tree paint, all of that. Next week I'll be posting. I want to play something for y'all. I want to play Safe Space. I don't know if I played that before. As we leave and as you wind down, as you're continuing writing, I'm just gonna play Safe Space. I want to play my next single, but it's not mastered yet, and so I won't do that. I won't get in trouble today for that. But next week I will be playing my album. Yeah. Peasy has already set the parameters for this paint and sip to 9 people. But I'm going to fight for it to be more than that. But I'm going to lead the paint and sip. Right now, my manager is online under an alias, and she is saying only 9 people can be picked for the Zoom. But that's fine. And I'm going to run back Safe Space real quick. I love y'all. Man, may God bless y'all. Normally we pray, but man, today y'all send up a prayer for yourselves. And if you don't believe in God or a higher power, man, this is the space where I simply every week just invite you to consider, man, that there is a God, somebody that I call God, who is far wiser, far more loving, and prepared for all that's happening in life. A God who loves me and who has an ultimate plan for my life, and actually wants my best interest at all times, even when life feels like it's not going their way. And so in this space, I always want to say, consider God. If you can, it's the invitation to do so. So I love y'all. Y'all have a great Sunday. This is Safe Space with me and Swoop. And y'all have a good day. I'm gonna let it ride out and finish writing, and y'all do the same thing.
You don't have to wait. You know that I'll be safe. Know that I'll be safe. It's a safe space.
Love y'all. Make sure y'all tell y'all's friends next week too to come to Safe Space. You don't have to wait. out 7/17, July 17th. Every Sunday we're here, 7 p.m. She said, baby, don't you run from the truth, and you don't have to wait. 7/17 is the album. Pre-orders will be happening. I believe they will be happening on the 26th of June, but I could be lying. But 7/17, my album is coming out, and I feel really excited about that. I feel so excited about that. I'm just kind of tired, so the excitement is not actually on my face or in my body, but it's inside my heart. And just know it's in there. And hopefully y'all support it. And again, the Just Breathe Spotify playlist. You can check my link in my bio. It is a meditation, rest, and recharge playlist. My sister's in here. I love you so much. I cannot wait to come home and see you so much. My cousin Pooh is in here. I think I seen her in here. Yeah. Jasmine bought this bubble machine from the dollar store. And basically, this is what life is about right now. Bubbles. The thing about bubbles is I love looking at bubbles. But you know the gross part is when they land, they're just sticky and wet. I love y'all. I'm logging off now. They're about to cut us off. Share this with a friend. Y'all have a great Sunday. Have a great week. You don't have to wait.